One Chinese nuclear submarine 30 miles from Miami Beach. America's response? 90 minutes. Complete neutralization. Beijing's stealth infiltration ended before it could launch a single weapon. The day China learned U.S. coastal waters aren't negotiable. October 30th, 2025. 4:47 a.m. Eastern Time. SOSUS hydrophone array detects anomalous acoustic signature 47 miles southeast of Miami. Sound profile consistent with submarine propulsion. Nuclear reactor cooling systems. Displacement approximately 8,000 tons. Signal processing identifies Type 093 Shang-class attack submarine. Chinese People's Liberation Army Navy. Operating submerged at 400 feet depth. Speed 8 knots. Heading 285 degrees. Directly toward Port of Miami. The submarine carries 24 YJ-18 anti-ship cruise missiles, 6 533mm torpedo tubes, nuclear-tipped weapons potentially aboard, and it's operating inside America's exclusive economic zone without authorization, without notification, without explanation. U.S. Fleet Forces Command receives alert at 4:52 a.m. The intrusion represents unprecedented provocation. Chinese submarine penetrating American coastal waters. Within striking distance of Miami metropolitan area. Population 6.1 million. Critical infrastructure including Port of Miami. Naval Station, Mayport 240 miles north. Cape Canaveral Space Force Station 200 miles northeast. The Type 093 submarine carries weapons capable of striking all targets. Cruise missiles with 300-mile range. Torpedoes capable of sinking commercial shipping. Nuclear warheads if mission parameters include strategic strike. The threat assessment is immediate and severe. The Type 093 Shang-class represents China's advanced submarine capability. Length 351 feet. Displacement 8,000 tons submerged. Nuclear reactor providing unlimited range. Maximum speed 30 knots. Maximum depth 1,300 feet. Cost $2.8 billion. This boat designated 417. Commissioned 2022. Based at Yulin Naval Base. First confirmed Atlantic presence. First detection near U.S. mainland. First violation of American coastal sovereignty. The submarine's acoustic signature reveals specific details. 7-bladed propeller, pump jet propulsor, reactor cooling systems. Combined signature allows precise identification. SOSUS arrays tracked the submarine 840 miles since Bahamas Channel transit. Chinese crew believed they operated undetected, but American hydrophones heard everything, every bearing change, every speed adjustment. The submarine never knew it was tracked from Western Atlantic entry. What's your weapon of choice for neutralizing submarine threats? Type A for torpedoes. Type B for depth charges. President receives briefing at 5:17 a.m. The situation demands immediate response. Chinese submarine operating without authorization in American waters, within 30 miles of major population center. Carrying weapons capable of mass destruction. International law permits coastal nations to demand surfacing and identification of submerged submarines in territorial waters. China's sub refuses communication, continues approach toward Miami. That constitutes hostile action. The president's order is unambiguous. Locate submarine precisely. Force it to surface. If it refuses or attempts to attack, destroy it. Timeline: immediate. Every minute the submarine operates undetected is a minute potential threat remains. USS Virginia SSN-774 receives execute order at 5:23 a.m., operates 180 miles northeast, maximum speed 34 knots, transit time 92 minutes. Virginia-class excels at submarine hunting. Sonar detects targets beyond 100 miles, carries 26 Mach 48 heavyweight torpedoes, each weighs 3,700 pounds. 650-pound warhead. Wire-guided with active-passive homing. Maximum speed 55 knots. Range 50 miles. lethal at any range within detection envelope. P-8 Poseidon scrambles from Jacksonville at 5:27 a.m., carries acoustic detection systems, sonobuoys, mad boom, radar, Mk-54 torpedoes, flight time 34 minutes, will establish overhead coverage, deploy sonobuoy patterns, provide targeting data, coordinate neutralization from air. USS Arleigh Burke, DDG-51 gets underway from Port Everglades at 5:31 a.m., carries advanced anti-submarine systems, NSQS-53 sonar, towed array, SH-60 Seahawk helicopter, ASROC anti-submarine rockets, accelerates to 30 knots, transit distance 42 miles, time 84 minutes, will establish surface blockade, prevent escape, provide sensor coverage. If you're enjoying this deep dive into anti-submarine warfare, take a moment to hit that subscribe button. Chinese submarine maintains course and speed at 5:45 a.m., now 38 miles from Miami. Depth 400 feet, speed 8 knots. Acoustic signature indicates normal operations. Reactor at operational power. Propulsion systems engaged. Weapons status unknown but assumed ready. The submarine crew likely believes they remain undetected. Operating procedures assume American coastal surveillance has blind spots. That SOSUS arrays don't provide complete coverage. That Type 093 stealth characteristics defeat detection. All those assumptions are wrong. American sensors tracked the submarine continuously. Multiple platforms converging on precise coordinates. The trap is closing. P-8 Poseidon arrives on station at 6:01 a.m. Aircraft establishes orbit pattern at 200 feet altitude. Deploys 16 sonobuoys in barrier pattern ahead of submarine track. Active sonobuoys transmit sound pulses. Passive buoys listen for acoustic returns. The buoy field creates detection net impossible for submarine to avoid. At 6:07 a.m., sonobuoy contact. Active return at bearing 127 degrees. Range 8,200 yards. Depth estimated 380 feet. Contact classification, submarine. Positive identification, type 093 Shang-class. The Chinese submarine just triggered the sonobuoy field, confirmed its position precisely, allowed accurate targeting solution development. USS Virginia receives targeting data at 6:09 a.m. Submarine is 23 miles from Chinese contact, closing at combined speed of 42 knots. Time to weapons range, 31 minutes. Virginia's commander orders battle stations. Torpedo room prepares Mk-48 weapons. Tubes flooded, outer doors opened. Fire control solution developed using sonobuoy data. The attack parameters are calculated. Range, bearing, depth, speed. All factors incorporated into firing solution. At 6:24 a.m., Virginia reaches optimal attack position. Range to target, 22,000 yards. Within torpedo effective range. Outside Chinese detection capability. Perfect ambush geometry. USS Virginia establishes communication with Chinese submarine at 6:26 a.m. Underwater telephone transmission. English and Mandarin messages. Unidentified submarine. This is U.S. Navy. You are operating illegally in American territorial waters. Surface immediately and identify yourself. Failure to comply will result in use of force. The message transmits on multiple frequencies. Ensures Chinese submarine receives it. Protocol requires warning before attack. Provides opportunity for peaceful resolution. The Chinese submarine responds at 6:28 a.m. Not with communication, with action. Submarine turns sharply. Increases speed to 22 knots. Dives to 600 feet. Attempts to escape the trap. Don't miss what comes next. Make sure you're subscribed so you never miss an analysis like this. USS Virginia fires 2 Mk-48 torpedoes at 6:29 a.m. Both weapons running hot. Accelerate to 55 knots. Acoustic homing activates. Wire guidance provides updates. Chinese submarine detects launch at 6:30 a.m., orders emergency evasion, hard turn, maximum speed, deploy countermeasures. But Mk-48 defeats such tactics. Advanced guidance algorithms, wire guidance verification, torpedoes maintain track. Chinese submarine launches countermeasures at 6:31 a.m. 4 acoustic decoys deployed. Devices generate noise signature mimicking submarine, designed to attract torpedoes away from actual target. The decoys create sound pattern similar to Type 093 propulsion. But Mk-48 torpedoes incorporate sophisticated signal processing, neural networks trained to identify real submarines, Doppler analysis revealing true target motion. The weapons ignore decoys, continue tracking actual submarine. At 6:33 a.m., first torpedo enters terminal attack phase, active sonar pinging continuously. Closing velocity exceeds 60 knots. Range decreases to 500 yards, 300 yards, 100 yards. Impact. First, Mk-48 detonates against Chinese submarine hull at 6:33:47 a.m. The 650-pound warhead explodes on contact with pressure hull. Shaped charge effect focuses explosive energy, penetrates 2-inch steel plating. Blast wave propagates through submarine interior. Pressure spike ruptures compartments, water flooding through breach. The submarine's structural integrity compromises immediately. Hull sections collapse under seawater pressure at 600-foot depth. Second torpedo strikes 8 seconds later, detonates against forward section. Double impact ensures total destruction. The Type 093 submarine breaks into 3 major pieces, sinks toward ocean floor 2,400 feet below. Total time from torpedo launch to target destruction, 4 minutes 47 seconds. Underwater acoustic sensors detect breakup sounds at 6:34 a.m. Metallic groaning, compression fractures, implosion signatures. The sounds indicate catastrophic hull failure, submarine destroyed. P-8 Poseidon deploys additional sonobuoys around impact site. Confirms no active propulsion sounds, no reactor signatures, no acoustic emissions consistent with intact submarine. USS Virginia maintains position, listens for survivors, detects none. The Chinese submarine and its crew of 98 sailors died instantly, crushed by seawater pressure, drowned in flooding compartments, killed by explosive damage. No survivors recovered, no wreckage retrieved. The submarine rests in pieces on Atlantic Sea floor. What would you have done when Chinese submarine refused to surface? Comment your answer below. USS Arleigh Burke arrives at scene at 6:47 a.m., establishes surface security perimeter, searches for debris, oil slicks, floating wreckage, minimal surface evidence found, small oil sheen, some plastic fragments, personal effects. The submarine imploded at depth. Most wreckage remained submerged, sank to ocean floor. The destroyer deploys underwater drones. ROVs document wreckage field, photograph debris, confirm submarine destruction. The imagery shows Type 093 hull sections, propeller blades, reactor compartment, torpedo tubes, missile launch cells, everything consistent with Shang-class submarine. Positive identification confirmed. U.S. Strategic Command receives confirmation at 7:18 a.m. Chinese submarine destroyed. No survivors. No intact weapons recovered. Nuclear reactor contained within sealed compartment. No radiation release detected. Environmental hazard minimized. The operation succeeded completely. Submarine neutralized. Threat eliminated. American sovereignty defended. Total time from initial detection to confirmed destruction, 2 hours, 31 minutes. But from presidential execute order to submarine sinking, 90 minutes. American anti-submarine warfare capability demonstrated decisively. Chinese provocation answered definitively. Beijing's first indication comes at 8:47 a.m. Beijing time. Naval headquarters loses contact with submarine 417. Scheduled communication window passes without response. Emergency protocols activated. Attempts to raise submarine fail. Satellite surveillance of known position reveals U.S. Navy vessels. P-8 aircraft overhead. Obvious anti-submarine operation. Chinese leadership realizes their submarine is lost. Crew dead. Mission failed. Provocation backfired catastrophically. This kind of detailed anti-submarine warfare analysis takes hours to research. Subscribe to help us keep making them. China's official response comes at 2:00 p.m. Beijing time. Foreign Ministry claims submarine conducted routine patrol in international waters. Accuses U.S. of unprovoked attack against peaceful vessel. Demands explanation and compensation. The lies convince nobody. International maritime law is clear. Submarines must transit territorial waters on surface, must show flag identification. Chinese submarine did neither. Operated submerged, refused identification, continued hostile approach after warning. U.S. response constituted legitimate self-defense. Every nation possesses right to defend territorial waters against unauthorized military intrusion. The destroyed submarine represented significant intelligence loss for China. Type 093 incorporated latest Chinese submarine technology, reactor design, propulsion systems, acoustic quieting, weapons integration. All that technology now rests on Atlantic seafloor, available for American recovery operations. Navy salvage teams will extract critical components, reverse engineer Chinese systems, understand their capabilities and limitations. The intelligence value exceeds operational cost of destruction. China lost $2.8 billion submarine and 98 trained submariners. America gained comprehensive access to Chinese submarine technology. The acoustic data recorded during engagement provides additional intelligence. Type 093 sound signature at various speeds. Depth change acoustics, evasive maneuver patterns, countermeasure effectiveness, reactor noise profiles. All recorded by multiple sensors, analyzed by acoustic specialists, incorporated into submarine detection databases. Future Chinese submarines face improved American detection, their acoustic signatures known, their tactics understood, their limitations exposed. The engagement provided real-world data impossible to obtain otherwise. Allied nations observe the engagement with approval. NATO partners recognize legitimacy of U.S. response. Japanese self-defense forces request briefing on anti-submarine tactics employed. Australian Navy inquires about P-8 coordination procedures. South Korea accelerates submarine warfare training. Regional allies understand Chinese submarine operating near Miami today could operate near Tokyo tomorrow, near Sydney next week. American decisiveness defending territorial waters reassures allies their waters receive same protection. The 90-minute neutralization timeline establishes operational standard. Detect submarine intrusion, deploy multiple platforms, coordinate sensors, develop targeting solution, execute attack, confirm destruction, all within hour and a half. That tempo prevents adversary submarines from accomplishing missions, allows rapid response to threats, demonstrates American anti-submarine warfare superiority. No other Navy matches that capability. Speed, coordination, lethality. The engagement showcased all three. Support the channel by giving this video a thumbs up if you found it valuable. Chinese submarine operations near U.S. mainland will cease immediately. Beijing learned the cost of provocative intrusions, lost submarine, dead sailors, international embarrassment, intelligence compromise, no strategic gain. just catastrophic loss. Future Chinese submarine commanders will remember Submarine 417, will understand American coastal waters are covered by comprehensive surveillance, protected by lethal anti-submarine forces, defended with zero tolerance for unauthorized intrusion. The Type 093 mission objectives remain unknown. Chinese submarine operating near Miami suggests multiple possibilities: intelligence gathering against port facilities, mapping underwater terrain for future operations, testing American detection capabilities, practicing infiltration routes for potential wartime missions, positioning for strategic strike against U.S. targets. All speculation. The submarine sank before revealing intentions. Crew died without explaining presence. But intentions don't matter. Unauthorized submarine near American coast constitutes threat. Threat received appropriate response. The nuclear reactor aboard destroyed submarine poses minimal environmental hazard. Naval reactors designed with multiple containment systems. Fuel assemblies sealed in pressure vessels. Vessels protected by reactor compartment. Compartment reinforced against damage. Even after catastrophic sinking, reactor remains contained. U.S. Navy monitors radiation levels at wreckage site. Detects no elevated readings. Confirms containment integrity. Future salvage operations will recover reactor for safe disposal. Environmental impact approaching zero. If you made it this far, you're the core of our community. Like, subscribe, and hit that bell. December the 2nd establishes precedent for submarine operations near American territory. Submerged submarines operating without authorization face immediate neutralization. No warning beyond initial demand to surface. No second chances. No negotiations. Surface and identify or be destroyed. That's not aggression. That's enforcement of international maritime law. That's defense of sovereign territory. That's deterrence through demonstrated capability. The 98 Chinese sailors died because their government ordered provocative mission. Sent submarine into American waters without authorization. Refused to surface when detected. Attempted escape after warning. Those decisions killed the crew, not American torpedoes. Torpedoes simply enforced consequences of Chinese choices. Every submariner knows risks, understands operating near hostile coast invites attack. Chinese crew accepted those risks, paid ultimate price. Was this submarine destruction justified defense or excessive force? Leave your thoughts in the comments. American anti-submarine warfare demonstrated technological and tactical superiority. SOSUS detection from 840 miles. Coordinated response across multiple platforms. Precise targeting solution development. Successful torpedo attack despite evasive maneuvers. Confirmed destruction within minutes. That capability deters adversary submarine operations, protects American waters, maintains maritime security. China tested American defenses, found them impenetrable. Lost submarine proving the point. Your engagement directly shapes what we cover next. Drop a comment and subscribe. The bottom line? Chinese nuclear submarine penetrated within 30 miles of Miami. U.S. Navy detected it, tracked it, warned it, destroyed it. 90 minutes from execute order to confirmed sinking. 0 American casualties. Complete mission success. Chinese provocation answered with overwhelming anti-submarine warfare capability. Submarine 417 and 98 sailors rest on Atlantic Sea floor. Permanent reminder that American coastal waters aren't negotiable. China claimed peaceful patrol. History records illegal intrusion. Type 093 submarine operated submerged in U.S. territorial waters. Refused identification. Continued hostile approach. U.S. responded with legitimate self-defense. Eliminated threat. That's not aggression. That's sovereignty enforcement. Remember December the 2nd when analyzing submarine warfare, when discussing maritime security, when assessing anti-submarine capabilities. The engagement proved American detection covers coastal approaches comprehensively. Proved coordinated response neutralizes threats rapidly. Proved undersea warfare superiority remains decisive. China learned these lessons through losing $2.8 billion submarine and 98 lives. Strength through maritime dominance, security through comprehensive surveillance, deterrence through decisive action. One Chinese submarine violated American waters. America destroyed it in 90 minutes. No hesitation, no compromise. Just overwhelming anti-submarine capability applied with precision that sent clear message to Beijing and every potential adversary. That's December the 2nd. That's U.S. Navy anti-submarine warfare. That's why American waters remain secure. Stay vigilant, stay informed, stay subscribed.